Welcome back to the deep dive. So we took on a bit of a challenge this time.
We did. Basically, we gathered analyses of 12 totally random biblical verses. Think Jeremiah, Judges, 2 Corinthians, all mixed up.
Right. Just pulled them out, essentially. And the mission was, okay, can we find any kind of coherent story in this, like, random data?
And honestly, the results were, well, pretty stunning. What came out wasn't random at all.
No, it was this clear, structured narrative. It's like a whole theological roadmap emerged, defining divine judgment, what's expected of people, and this split in where things end up.
Exactly. A whole process.
Okay, so let's dig into that. The sources say this whole judicial thing starts not with a bang, but with communication, a warning.
Precisely. Jeremiah 6.17 kind of sets the template. God sends out watchmen, tells people, listen to the trumpet. It's a clear call to pay attention.
A warning, and that warning seems crucial, legally speaking.
Absolutely. It establishes the basis for what comes next. And the response, it's right there in the text. But they said, we will not listen. Explicit refusal. Volitional.
Wow, so that no is the hinge point.
It seems to be.
Okay, so if they refuse the warning, wait, the agent of judgment isn't what you'd expect then. The sources say it's the word itself.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. It's not an army. It's, well, Jeremiah 5.14 says it. I have made these words of mine for thy mouth a fire, and this people fuel, and it shall devour them.
So the word acts like a crucible, like it tests you from the inside out, checking if you're just rebellious wood, as the source puts it.
Exactly. It's an immediate internal test. And if you fail that test, the consequence is, well, it's profound. A kind of decreation.
Decreation? How so?
Jeremiah 16 talks about the removal of the sound of joy and the sound of mirth, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. Basically, the sounds of life and celebration just stop. Silence.
That's heavy. And that silence then turns into mourning. I remember reading that the heart itself shall sound as pipes because everything is just gone, perished.
Yes, a deep, pervasive sense of loss.
Yeah.
An internalized state of loss.
And that internal state is what's actually being judged, right? The sources talk about the heart and reins. Can you unpack those terms a bit?
Sure. So the heart that's led in Hebrew, it's presented as your intellect, your will, your conscious decision-making center.
Okay. And the reins?
The reins kelia, that's deeper. It's your innermost affections, your secret desires, basically where your ultimate loyalty really lies.
So heart is the will, reins are the secret desires. And how does this internal stuff become visible? How is it judged?
Through action, or rather through the mouth as an indicator of that inner state. Think about vows, like in Numbers or Acts. Speaking a vow creates this binding obligation you can't escape. Your words commit you.
Right. And conversely, Psalm 105 says you should use your mouth for positive allegiance, proclaiming God's works.
Exactly. It's about where your spoken allegiance lies. The midwives in Exodus 1 are a fantastic example.
Yeah. Defying Pharaoh.
Right. They chose to obey a higher will, even facing, the highest human authority. Their kilia, their deepest obligation, was elsewhere, and their actions or inactions in words showed it.
So the heart's loyalty dictates what the mouth does, and that's the evidence.
That seems to be the mechanism described.
Okay, so this test, based on the heart and evidenced by the mouth, leads to this split. Bifurcation of destinies, the sources called it.
Those two distinct paths. For those whose hearts, whose kilia are found wanting, the end point is described as death.
And that's not just stopping breathing.
No, it seems to be a theological state, a state of profound loss, separation. Ezekiel uses metaphors like the lowest parts of the earth, the pit, think Sheol.
Grim. What's the alternative?
The alternative is rest. The Greek word used is kataposis. It's important, the sources stresses. It means a specific resting place, a permanent abode.
Like a final destination of peace.
Yes. And Hebrews 4 ties it directly to belief.
Yeah.
We who have believed are to enter into that rest. It's conditional.
Okay, and the sources connect this kataposis back to something more tangible. The cities of refuge.
They do. Numbers 35, the cities of refuge, are seen as a physical foreshadowing of this spiritual safe haven. A place safe from judgment, a place of deliverance.
A place defined by comfort. I think 2 Corinthians was mentioned.
That's right, defined by the God of all comfort. It's a state of being with the source of all comfort.
Okay, so let's just recap. This random collection of verses seems to lay out a whole judicial process. There's a clear warning.
Then there's the test, conducted by the word itself, acting like fire.
Right, and the evidence comes from where your deepest allegiance lies, Your heart and reigns shown by what you commit to with your mouth.
And that leads to the separation, either into that state of ongoing loss, the mourning pipes,
or into catapausis, that state of divine rest and comfort. It's actually remarkably cohesive.
It really is, from such disparate texts.
And here's the kicker. The sources point out that some consequences, like that cessation of joy, happen before your eyes and in these your days. Present tense.
Yeah, implying judgment isn't just some future event, but potentially an ongoing process experienced. Well now.
So that leaves a pretty pointed question for you, listening. If judgment and its outcomes can be experienced in the here and now, what tangible evidence of catapausis, of that deep rest, that comfort, that deliverance, are you actually experiencing in your life right now? Something to think about.